Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina, and let's talk about plants. So in today's video, it's another monthly update. Another monthly update. Can you believe it? This is the month of August, and we're just gonna go around. I'm gonna talk to you about or show you what's going on in my houseplant collection. A few, not everything of course, but I've picked out a few things. I have a list of things to share with you guys. So I think we're gonna start out in this room, and then I think we're gonna go outside because you guys have to see my butterfly garden. It looks so amazing. And even if you're not an outdoor gardener, I think you would enjoy seeing this. So we're gonna take a little walk outside, and then we're gonna come back in and look at some more houseplant updates. So that is the plan. But we're gonna start in this room. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is a really important update for my houseplant collection. So this here is a beautiful Syngonium green splash, gorgeous, and I have lots of Syngonium. I have many Syngonium in my collection, and these are all Syngonium behind me here. And I mentioned before that I had found spider mites in these guys. I have been battling spider mites, and not just here. Where else have I had? Oh, spider mites in the Syngoniums in my bedroom as well. And yeah, it's been a spider mite summer, I guess. I don't know why. Why is that? Anyway, so the big update for my collection is that I finally broke down and I purchased some beneficial mites to try and fight these spider mites. So I had always read and heard about people using beneficial mites, especially like I think up in like Canada where you can't get strong chemicals, insecticides to fight the bugs. They will use good bugs to fight the bad bugs. And I really didn't know the first thing about going about getting these guys. You know, where do you go? Where do you get them? I did a little research, and I came across a company called Nature's Good Guys. It's naturesgoodguys.com. So I went there, and they have, a big list of, what problems you're having, what bugs will fight those problems. And I ended up going with and the name is on here, the Cucumaris is the type of spider mite that I am using to battle the bad spider mites. And I don't know what type of spider mites I have. They look kind of red, but then they also look kind of black. So I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so I decided to go with this, and of course I've only had this going for like less than a week, so I can't tell if it's making a difference yet. I'm feeling really good about this though. So prior to doing this, I did try different, I tried the systemic granules, and then I read that those can make spider mite issues worse. And I'm not just dealing with spider mites, I'm also dealing with thrips. I had thrips. So prior to purchasing these, like I said, I tried the systemic granules. I think it's the Bonide, and I kind of gave up on that. I don't know. I just felt like I didn't like it. I didn't like using those. And then I tried just my homemade DIY bug recipe, and it's a temporary fix. It like washes them away, but it doesn't, you have to spray constantly with your homemade spray in order for it to, it'll work. It'll definitely work, but you just have to be I would say even every day. You have to spray your plants every day. I have over 300 plants, so that's not going to work. So I did more research, and I did find, I was looking for something that will kill the bugs, but is also not like super toxic. So I did find Azamax, and I have been using this. And for one thing, it wiped out my fungus gnat issue. Every now and then I'll see one flying around, but it's super rare. And the only reason I think I'm still seeing like one occasionally is because I have my terrarium, which we're going to look at in a little bit. But I don't treat my terrarium. And it is open, so those gnats can get out of there. But anyway, so this has worked on fungus gnats beautifully. And thrips. I haven't seen a thrip in a really long time. And I have I was battling the Western flower thrip, I believe it's called. And this, I'm just so excited. I haven't seen a thrip in forever. But I am still seeing spider mites. So I don't know why. This is supposed to work on spider mites. Maybe it just takes longer with a spider mite. I don't know. But so I had read that it takes like 3 applications of this stuff in order for it to work. And I'm on like my 6th bottle. I've done like 6 applications. And I think eventually it's going to work, but I guess I don't have the patience, and it's not cheap to keep buying this. I do have to order another bottle of this week for this week's round of pest control. And the nice thing is this is safe with these cucumaris beneficial mites that I purchased. I looked it up, and it is safe. And I don't actually spray leaves with this stuff. I use it as a soil drench. So it shouldn't really come into contact with the beneficial mites anyway, because it goes directly into the soil, unless those mites are hanging out in the soil, and then, you know, they might have some issues, but they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be compatible with this. So that's where we're at with my pest situation. So basically, I am just dealing with spider mites right now, just spider mites. And hopefully these cucumaris beneficial mites, I think I said spider mites earlier. I called them spider mites. These are not spider mites. These are beautiful little beneficial mites, and they're so tiny. They're like white, and they're really fast. And hopefully they'll take care of the straggler spider mites I'm still finding. I don't have webs, so my spider mite situation is not like severe, because I've been on top of it the whole summer. So I'm not finding like webs. It's just like straggler spider mites crawling around. Usually at the bottom of the leaves, I'll find them, 1 or 2. So hopefully these guys will take care of that eventually. I think they're good now. I don't know for sure. Maybe you guys know. From my understanding, it's only like a 4-week thing with each sachet, they call these. Like they only live, I wish they were like, I don't think they reproduce on their own. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be like hanging out on these plants forever. It's only like a 4-week thing, and then you do have to buy more if you so choose. And I think I might. For me, I have such a big collection that it's worth it for me, and I'm able to spend the money on these preventatives and treatments to save all of my plants. So yeah, so that's a huge update in my houseplant collection, which has started in the month of August and will continue. So I'll give you updates on, you know, if I end up seeing any more spider mites after adding these guys, and also continuing with the Azamax. Like I said, I think eventually the Azamax is probably going to do the job. And also I am spraying still with my DIY bug spray. Not every single plant in my collection, but just like my syngoniums. Not like these guys that are hard, I can't remove these, so I don't spray these guys, but ones like this that I can remove, I'll do that. So yeah. I do have one of these sachets on my anthuriums also, because I have seen some on there. Was it I'm trying to think if it was spider mites or thrips that I was seeing. I think it's spider mites, but they did have thrips also, but I haven't seen thrips on them recently. So like I said, this has been a buggy summer for me. Mealybugs, thrips, spider mites, gnats. Yeah, I think I finally got rid of all the mealybugs on my one infested begonia. I'll show you my begonia real quick. It's right here behind the camera. This begonia Sinbad was having the worst time fighting these mealybugs, but I don't see any, and I haven't seen any for a while. And like this one was getting Azamax, so I think the Azamax did work on the mealybugs because I'm not seeing them anymore. Yay! So yeah. So that is my August update on my pest situation. And I'm feeling, like I said, now that I have these beneficial mites, I'm just feeling really good about it. I finally feel like all of my efforts are starting to work. They're starting to work. And I also put the beneficial mites in my grow tent as a preventative. I stuck them on some philodendrons and some syngoniums in my grow tent. And yeah, so yeah. All right, next. Sorry I spent so much time talking about pests, but that has been a big deal for me. So it's important, and it's an important update. So now for something more nice, more positive. And that is, I wanted to show you the newest leaf on my syngonium, red spot tricolor. Look how pretty. I love all the pink. So yeah, now I was under the impression that the red spot tricolor, okay, so you have the syngonium pink splash, and as the leaves mature, as it gets older, it loses the pink, which it does, and it's usually only the newer leaves that have the pink still on them. The older leaves don't. So now I'm wondering, now why is that? I thought the red spot tricolor was supposed to hold on to the pink color, but look, these older leaves, they don't really, well, this one does. This one has pink. This one doesn't. And this is the second most recent leaf. And I can't remember if this one came out with much pink. I think it did, because I can see a little bit of, well, maybe it didn't come out with a lot of pink, but this newest leaf has a ton of pink on it, and we're gonna see if that hangs on, if it actually does hang on, or if it will start fading away. It's not supposed to, so I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, so it's just really pretty, and I was really excited about this leaf, and I wanted to share it with you. The red spot tricolor syngonium. Okay, so the next thing on my list is my carnivorous plants, my pinguiculas, and can you guess what maybe this update will be? It's flowering. Isn't that super cute? So I also have pings in my terrarium, which were flowering. One of them was flowering, I think it was just the one. The one variety was flowering for me multiple times, like multiple blooms, like 5 at a time, maybe even 6. And it's been quite a few weeks since it's had a bloom, since any of my pings have had blooms. And then finally, this one just popped out. So cute. This is the Licula moranensis variety caudata cross species Guatemala. Well, that's a mouthful. So I was just super excited when I saw this. Now this flower looks exactly the same as the ones in my terrarium. So, and they can, I think most of them are this cute purple color, but you can find some that give you different color flowers. But I think all of mine, pretty sure all the ones I have in my collection are probably just going to be this purple flower. But this one lives in my room, and I would have, in my bedroom, and I would have taken you there, but I am going to be doing a houseplant tour number, I think 4. I think we're up to number 4, and it's gonna just be all the plants in my bedroom. So you'll see this where it lives, because I'll be doing that soon. But yeah, so, and then also besides this one blooming, there is one, a new one, not the original one that was blooming before in my terrarium, but another one is also getting ready to bloom. The flower's not quite open yet, but I will take you over there and we'll just look at the terrarium because the terrarium is just so cool. My little fantasy world, my terrarium, and you'll see what's going on in there. But now this is interesting, and I'm wondering if it's just a coincidence or if it is the reason my pings are blooming. So, like I mentioned, I used to have a fungus gnat issue, but that issue has really calmed down for me since I started the Azamax. I still occasionally, I don't treat my pinguiculas because they're carnivorous plants and they do eat fungus gnats. That's their food source. But I don't have as many fungus gnats around them. So one of Duncan out there, one of the viewers of my channel, we chat and talk about pings because he's also a ping lover. And he told me I should use, and I'll show you what I do use. He recommended, this is Schultz Cactus Liquid Plant Food. He suggested I use this to feed my pings. And since my fungus gnats have been going away, I've decided, well, I need to start using this. And I was also using like fish food, which was when I got these pings, the seller recommended that you can feed them fish food, like fish food flakes or just pellets, tiny little ones, and they'll get the nitrogen or whatever they need from that. But I don't know, I just wanted to try this. I wanted to see what this would do. And just like, not even a week after I started using this fertilizer, flowers are popping out. So is it a coincidence? Duncan, do you know? Does that happen with you, with your pings? Do they start flowering? I don't know. But I'm really happy about it, really excited about it. And I'll take you to the terrarium and I'll show you that flower as well. All right, so here is the terrarium and it is very lush, as you can see, very full. My ferns here that popped out on their own, they're continuing. I've had to trim them because they do fade, like this pinguicula back here. Actually, it's this begonia right now that is shading it more, but before it was these ferns shading it, so I do have to trim those now and then. And then here is the one, this is, I believe, this one right here. I can't remember the name of it. The name will be on the screen, but that one gets purple. Let's see, it has purple edge around the leaves, and the whole plant can just, with super bright light, can become entirely purple. I haven't been able to get that to happen yet, but at least I do still have just some like purple margins on the leaves. And that one is blooming for the first time. Now it hasn't opened yet, as you can see. It's still closed, but soon that should be opening up. So that's the top. Begonia is peeking out, and looks like they're getting plenty of light, so they look a little burned almost. They kind of have a fallish look to me, just kind of fallish colors. Maybe they're changing with the season. I don't think they actually do that, but it just makes me think of that. And they're blooming, of course. They've been blooming all summer long. And this asparagus fern here is really blocking the Phytonias, but they don't seem to mind. In fact, the ones that are in the shade are more brilliantly colored. These guys, see how they're kind of faded? So I don't know if this is like a nutrient deficiency or if it's just too much light. I'm leaning toward it being too much light since this terrarium is not that old. And yeah, that's how things are looking. It's the magical fairy terrarium, Fairyland Terrarium. Love those mushrooms. Fake, of course. All right, so that is going to be it for all the updates in this room. And now I want to take you outside to see my gorgeous butterfly garden. I can't wait to show you. Last time we looked at it, not everything was blooming, and now everything but one plant is blooming, and it's amazing. I want you to see it. So let's head out. All right, so first, before we get to the butterfly garden, I want to show you guys. I should save this for my thrift video, but I wanted to show you these new mushrooms I picked up at the Goodwill. They're so cute. There's that one, and you can see how the planter is doing, all the plants. The daisies are not blooming currently, nor is the salvia, but a few of the other ones are blooming, and I think the star of this planter right now is these. They're just so pretty. So, and then over here is another mushroom that I found at the Goodwill, a red one, and this planter is just so full and beautiful. I just love the way it looks. And my sunflowers are blooming in the gardens. All right, so let's head to the butterfly garden. Look at that, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? It is blooming so nicely, everything. Look at this. It's just all so lush. So every single thing is in bloom or about to open, except for this guy right here. And I forget the name of it. It's got a little tag, but I can't see. I'll put the name on the screen. But the zinnias, just gorgeous. This has just started to open again. It gets like these large balls of just these purple flowers. Really pretty. That's phlox. And my favorite, I think, of all the plants here are these black-eyed Susans. Just stunning. All of these are stunning. This is open now. That was not open before. That's, what is that one? Coreopsis. These are so pretty. I am just so enthralled with my butterfly garden, and I saw for the first time ever, I had a hummingbird moth. I had never seen one of those before. I haven't seen any monarchs around here at my garden. I get tons of these little white moths, And then even over here, my little butterfly bush, it's got tons of blooms. It's getting bigger. Ignore this mess over here. And then this is fun here. These are sunflowers that came from my bird feeder. The birds planted these and they just look so pretty. Love the way that looks. And right over here is my office where we just were. So I have a really great view sitting at my computer of my flowers. All right, so I'll show you real quick what's going on in the gardens. I have tons of these Roma tomatoes that are they're still green. We did get one red one so far and we ate it. There might be another red one in there. No, just still all green. But we had it in some pico de gallo that I made. And let's see, there's more tomatoes, lots of tomatoes. They're just not quite ready yet. And look at this beautiful cucumber. These are the best cucumbers I have ever eaten. And I'm trying to find the little tag. I don't see it. I think they're called fanfare cucumbers, but they are so delicious. They're like super crisp. They're amazing. Here's another one we'll be eating this week. Here's a baby one. Oh, and there's one here. So I'm getting lots of cucumbers. And then this is zucchini, my squashes, zucchini, and not a ton of zucchini this year. I don't know why. I mean, we have had some, but let's see if I can find any here. Oh, there's one. Just not as much as last year, which is interesting. Now there are some yellow squashes here that we'll be eating this week, right there. Beautiful. And those flowers are so pretty too. And the herbs are, of course, going crazy. The mint is going crazy. I love mint. I know people say don't plant them in your garden, they will take over, but I don't care. I like them. And there's my squirrel. He's looking for peanuts. He knows hi. I have not named him. There's two that hang out over here. He's waiting for me to give him peanuts. Sometimes they make me nervous because they'll come so close to me. They're not afraid of me at all. I mean, if I start walking towards him, he's gonna take off, but they're really, I mean, see, he's very comfortable around me. He knows me, or she knows me, knows I'm going to feed them. So I should probably do that before I go in the house, because I haven't given them any peanuts yet today. But so cute. I'll get your peanuts, don't worry. And, oh, here's some tomatoes. Some little tomatoes. So that is what's going on in the garden. And let me get some peanuts for him real quick, or her, and then we'll continue on. Get your peanuts. All right, so I thought I'd show you the hollyhocks again real quick. My hollyhocks, they're still, of course, gorgeous. We'll go over there. But I've noticed this year, they don't seem to have done as well as last year, and I think it's because of all the rain we've gotten. I think they've just been like mangled with all the rain and the wind that we've had. Aren't they pretty though? So, and then, well, I'll go on the other side because I remember I planted all the wildflowers, and well, I set down a bunch of wildflower seed, and then I planted some perennials on the other side of the fence, so we can take a look at those. And then this here is a giant sunflower. I have a couple of those. This one is also, so those should be interesting when they come up. But let's look on the other side. All right, so a lot of this is what I planted, and then like perennials, and then this came up from a seed. Real cute. I don't know what it is called, but my daisies over here are blooming. The ones in my planter are not, but these are. They look so cute. And here's more that popped up from seeds here. Real pretty. And then there's quite a bit of color over here. This is a perennial that I planted, but then here, this came up from seed. And the interesting thing about that seed packet, this is basil, which to me is really bizarre that they would put basil in the seed packet, but there's a lot of basil in it for some reason. So those are all the flowers. So let's head back inside. We're back inside, and I just have a couple of more updates to give you. There's Nicky. Looks like he saw something outside the window. But there he is. So, okay, two last things I want to show you quickly. And the first one is this is my domino peace lily. And as you can see, it's going to get its very first bloom. Hopefully you can see it. I will point to it right here. That will be my very first bloom from this plant. Super excited to see it. As I said in the houseplant tour, this is my very first peace lily I've ever had in my collection. And I'm just, I love it. Just love it. I can't believe I waited this long to add a peace lily to my collection. And then finally, the last update, and it would be right here, and it is the Dracaena marginata that I picked up at an estate sale, and I repotted it. And this is the repotting. So if you remember, well, you wouldn't remember because unless you read the comments in my videos, Paul suggested, hi Paul, suggested that I okay, so it came, let me just show you real quick. So I repotted it. I repotted it into this pot right here, which I picked up at a thrift store. And it's like a really deep dark green color. So I did that, set that down. But the original pot it came in is this beautiful handmade pottery, and it's got pink, and it has some like terracotta color, and then it has like a stripe of green, which is similar in color to the pot I found at the thrift store. And Paul suggested I use this, repot the plant, because I mean, this is such a shallow pot. There's no way it could like live a very long time in this pot. So he suggested, Paul, you suggested, I repot it and use this as like the saucer. So that's what I did. And I think it looks okay. I mean, it's a little deep as a saucer, but at least I still get to enjoy seeing the planter until I find another use for this one here. I'm going to just continue to use it as the saucer. And the Dracaena itself has seemed to weather the repotting. It's doing just fine. So that's a good thing. You always worry about, you know, repotting plants and then losing them because they just can't handle the shock of it. So yeah, I think, you know what, I'm seeing this. I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is my tortum. So it's been working on opening this new stem, this new leaf for a while. Not super long time, but it's taken a little bit of time. But now it's got a new one it's going to be working on. So there's the mushroom from Laura, so cute. So I am probably going to have to repot this one before too long. It is growing so nicely, getting so big. And yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's going to be it for the updates. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I can't do that. I gotta call it quits somewhere. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing my August updates. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I do make new videos every week, twice a week, and I'd love to have you as part of this community. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous week, or are having a fabulous week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.